This is Tim Willis, and today we're going to be installing and taking a quick look at Adobe Express. Adobe Express is the Adobe competitor product to Canva, and it's not Photoshop, it's not Illustrator, it's not this, it's not that, but it is a little bit of a lot of Adobe products in a more consumer friendly, beginner friendly package. We wouldn't be able to cover everything you do with Adobe Express in one video. But what we're going to do is try to get up and running with it. Now, my main graphics editor is Click Designs, but I do use Adobe Express for quite a bit as a sort of secondary tool. And the thing you have to understand about me, and this is just me, is that I'm not a big fan of Canva. I know I've just pissed a lot of people off by saying that, but I'm just not a Canva fan. And so for some of these other tools, or just to have more variety and choices, Adobe Express is my secondary tool. And that is how I kind of got into learning about all these Adobe free products that you can have access to. So what I have done to prepare is I've logged out of Adobe Express on my computer. So we're not logged in on the browser. I also had the desktop version of Adobe Express, which I uninstalled, and I've uninstalled everything that was related to Adobe at this point. And there's a reason we'll be doing that. But basically, I did all that in preparation because I wanted to make this experience mirror what you're going to experience at home as much as possible. Obviously, I have an advantage because I've done this before and I'm familiar with Adobe Express, but we're as close to zero as you're going to be able to get on a computer that's had Adobe Express on it before. So, did a Google search. We have Adobe Express right here. Let's click on that. And it's going to bring up this screen right here. And you see that we can start a 30-day free trial or we can get Adobe Express free. Now, Adobe Express does have a two-tier plan. It has a free side and then it has a paid side. And we'll look at the cost on that once we get it up and running because I haven't checked on that in a while. So I'll have to do that to make sure. And so let's go ahead and click on Get Adobe Express Free. At this point, we need to sign in, which we can do if we already have an Adobe ID. If you don't have an Adobe ID, then you're going to need to go to the main Adobe website and get one. And it's absolutely free to do. An Adobe ID will give you access to products free and paid. On this series I'm doing, we're only doing with free products, even though they may have a paid aspect to it. We're only going to do it with the free side of things. And so that's why you would need to get that if you don't have it already. And there's a video I've already done on getting an Adobe ID. So you can check that out. But anyway, I know I have an Adobe ID already. And so I'm going to sign in. Now, in order to make this as real as possible to the experience that a new user is going to have, I am going to create a new account. So I'm going to come here and click on create an account. Now you see, now if you already have an account, you can sign in, but we're going to create a completely new account. After putting in our username and password, it's going to want some information about us. And so we'll have to fill that in to create our account. After we have filled in the other information and accept an agreement, we should see this screen pop up on our screen. And then, of course, they're going to flash this up right away, trying to get you to upgrade to the premium version, which is $9.99 a month. $9.99 a month is not an exorbitant fee. It would cost you significantly more to have a single Adobe product like Photoshop or Illustrator as a single subscription than what you're be charged for Adobe Express. But as I said at the beginning, we're strictly doing the free versions of things on this series of videos that I'm making. So we're just going to stick with the free and choose continue and verify that. Now, annoyingly, so many programs you've signed up for today have an annoying quiz before they'll let you continue. So we're going to have to fill it up. So we're going to go ahead and make our choices here. Okay, now that we've got through all the rigmarole, we are looking at Adobe Express. And as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of stuff here and a whole bunch of stuff on our toolbar. We have a bunch of stuff on our sidebar, a bunch of stuff all over the place. Quite a bit you can do with this. As I said before, this is the Adobe competitor product to Canva. So it covers a lot of the same territory, although there are certain advantages, and I will give you just one right now. Is with Canva, you have to pay for the pro version to have a background remover. In other words, remove background from a photo. Here in Adobe Express, it is free. It says free for a limited time if you look in the upper right hand corner. But from my own experience, I can tell you that it's been free for a limited time for at least a year. So they may take that away at some point, but right now, as of March 7th, 2025, it is free. And that is one thing alone is worth having the free version. Just so many programs want to charge you for the background remover to try to get you to upgrade to the paid version. Our whole goal in this series is not to pay jack shit. So now that we have it up, you're going to be able to play with it. I do want to show you a couple things here on this top toolbar. If you want to explore the paid version of Adobe Express, you could do that by clicking on the Start Free Trial button. You'll get a 30-day free trial. If you decide you don't want it, you just cancel it before the due date comes at 30 days. You also have another subscription type called a team. And so that's going to be where you manage your team. You submit feedback. You'll get notifications. This right here is your profile ID, and they'll put some kind of little avatar there and there. You can change that if you want to later. And if you click on that, that's where you can access your settings and also the help file. So that leaves us one icon we haven't talked about yet, and that's this one right here that's got the four little dots arranged in a square. And this is going to take a little explanation here. And this is sort of a short list, and you're going to find this or other versions of this on all Adobe products. And what it is a sort of link to other products and service made by Adobe. So you see when we click on it, it brings up all these other things we could go to. Some of them are paid, like Photoshop. Other ones are not. Like we see, we have a link to Adobe Express here, um, certain other ones. Then you can click on View All Apps. And this is one of the things I've discovered. Adobe Creative Cloud, if you see this little symbol there, is the portal where the links to all Adobe products reside. So it's sort of your one-stop place that you can go to and pick any Adobe product. And from there, you can either download it or use it if it's free, or purchase a subscription if it's a paid product. The interesting thing about my journey here is I have discovered there's at least three versions of Creative Cloud. There's, of course, the paid version. There's also two free versions, one of which is here. And so we're going to go ahead and click on Creative Cloud and take a look at that. And this again is it's going to be logging into that Adobe ID we just created. And this is the smallest version of the Creative Cloud. And so if you look here, we have not a whole lot because we just signed in. But we have a toolbar over here on the left-hand side that says Home, which we're on right now, Apps, and Files. Now, Files is going to be completely empty right now because we don't have anything there yet. But when you start making things in Adobe Express, it's going to save them here. Now, I don't know if there's a storage limit on that or not. That is something I would have to research more. But you start making things in Adobe Express, you're going to see them also show up here under your files in Creative Cloud. And then we have the apps, which will list all the Adobe apps you can go to, some of which are free, some of which are paid. So you see, like, here's Photoshop. you can get a free trial or you can buy it. Now, surprise, 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 most of the free stuff tends to be at the bottom of this page. Now, Adobe Express, which we're actually logged into right now, isn't one of those, although you can get the pro version upgrade. But it seems like a lot of stuff down here is the free stuff. And so, one example of that is where is it? Photoshop Express, which is something we will be making a video on in the future. There's also something called Fresco, which is a raster type art program, which is also free. And we'll look at that. And then some of these other ones are free with an asterisk. They have a free aspect to them. It's kind of limited, but it is free. And the rest of it you got to pay for. But anyway, that is where you can find a whole list of everything Adobe offers for use, whether it's free or paid, is on this apps. Is in So that is where you can find everything that Adobe offers in one place in this Creative Cloud. As I said, this is the sort of smallest version of it. And if we go home, when we get around to working with Photoshop Express, it's going to install a free but higher level of Creative Cloud that's going to have more icons over here on the left hand side. So just understand that there's sort of these different versions of the Creative Cloud, even if you're only using free products. But either way, you're going to be logging in to whichever version of Creative Cloud is attached to a certain product with that Adobe ID. And so you're not going to have to pay unless it's a paid product. I know this is kind of getting into the weeds on this a little bit, but I think it's kind of important to kind of let you know what's going on because, as I said, we're going to be installing some other products that are going to have a version of Creative Cloud that looks a little different, but still isn't going to cost you anything. Anyway, back to Adobe Express. Right now, you should have Adobe Express installed and on your screen. And so the best thing you do at this point is just start playing around. Now, I have no idea how much experience you have, if any, in using a image editor like this, but the best way is to jump in and have fun. So that's going to be it for now. My name is Tim Willis. I am a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder, and I make tutorial and demonstration videos on ClickFunnels, sales funnel building, graphics creation, and the tools we use to do all of those things. That's the video for now. I'll talk to you later.